Hi everyone, and welcome to another episode of Superboy Multiverse. Your host, the man that everyone hated so much in general public, they voted for me to die, Carl Charles and
the man whose mortal nemesis is a crowbar, CY Chung.
And in this episode, we're going to be talking about Batman's second canonical son, technically, Jason Todd, aka Robin 2, aka Red Hood.
AKA, and I bet you know the first superhero name he had it was Ishmael. I don't know why it sounds Jewish. I mean, it makes it sound like he's Jewish.
Yeah.
I don't get it. But so when Dick Grayson stopped become there's a bit of a murkiness because it's pre-crisis and post-crisis.
Okay. Yeah.
But in pre-crisis, when Dick Grayson decided that he outgrew being Robin.
Yeah.
And he passed on the suit to Jason Todd. That's when Jason Todd officially became Robin. However, but prior to that, when Jason Todd's circus parents got killed by Killer Croc because he was a Dick Grayson clone, except that he was ginger, so he had to dye his hair black.
Yep. Another thing I hated, but yeah.
He wore this other costume and with a star kind of collar.
Okay.
But it was very similar to Tim Drake's Robin costume.
Okay.
And he called himself Ishmael for some reason. And I was like, all right,
weird.
Yeah, okay. And then it took a while before he actually became Robin.
Why Ishmael?
Yeah. Which is kind of one. Oh my goodness! You know what the funny thing is here, right?
What?
Oh my goodness! So Batman just having no chill whatsoever. Yeah.
Yeah.
Jason Todd dressed as Robin to save Batman from the Joker.
Okay.
And then Batman was like, "Nah, bro, you can't just be walking around wearing someone else's costume and stealing someone else's identity." I'm like, well, you know.
Okay.
And then so when Jason Todd's like, "Oh yeah, I'll be I'm now called Ishmael," and Batman's like, "With any luck, before the night's out, you'll be called much worse." And he's like, "Whoa,
wait, what?
hold on, Batman, hold on." This is chill Jason Todd, not the angry street thug Jason Todd. You know?
Who stole your tires? You know.
Yeah, like, oh my goodness, already, you know, oh my goodness, Batman, what are you doing? You know.
Why would you be such a dick? I don't know.
Yeah. I don't even know if he meant it like that, but that's the way it came across.
Yeah. Because it's written in it. You don't know if it's like, because you don't know the tone of his voice. You don't know if it was like, you know.
Yeah, I think he was meant to be like, oh yeah, you've been called something to be feared or whatever, but just be like, I just dismissed him and said, yeah, whatever. You're part of what? It's like, whoa, Batman.
Okay, calm down. We know you hate kids, but wow.
yeah, you hate kids. Because do you endorse them to join your crusade,
army, basically, yeah, and then
to endanger them, and you don't care, and you make them wear bright colours so they're the target in the shadows when you're wearing black.
He's such a weird man.
Yeah. How much of the pre-crisis Jason Todd backstory do you know?
Except the bits that everyone sort of told me, like you just mentioned, that he was basically a Dick Grayson clone.
Yep.
Had the same basic origin, like, hey, his parents were also in the circus and died in front of him by one of Batman's nemesis, and then Batman took him in, and now he's Robin. Yeah, that's all I really know.
So, them being circus performers does give, and I think at Haley's circus as well. So it does give a link for why Dick Grayson was involved in that.
Yeah.
Right? And I think, who did Batman get beat up by? I think he had a fight with Killer Croc, but then he also had something, a party at his house.
Yeah.
So then he went to get changed or whatever. And Jason Todd's parents were there. And they open a door and you see him.
Yeah.
Alfred and Dick. Batman in his, with all his wounds and his bat shirt on the side. And they're like, oh, I guess we stumbled onto something, yeah. And they're like, well, you know what you could be? You could help us be informants for us because there's criminal stuff going on in the like some the circus has something dodgy going on.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they're like, oh yeah, we'll help you, and that's what leads to their deaths.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Yeah, because I think he throws into the crocodiles or something like that. No, he doesn't actually, but you know,
Yeah.
I think he drown him or whatever. And yeah, so that's how that bit happens. And I don't know why they decided to have Dick Grayson, and I don't who is supposed to be what I know Batman continuity changes a bit.
Yep. Whenever it wants.
Let's just say he's in his mid to late teens.
Yeah.
And there's something like there's a connection between Jason Todd's mum and Dick Grayson. I'm like, what? When I say a connection, you know, like where it's like, oh, can you feel it, spine tingling, sort of.
Yeah.
Nudge, wink. It's like, wait, no, hold on. Jason Todd's like 10 years old here or something like that.
Yeah.
That woman's got to be 30 something.
Yes. That makes So then, when would she have had this so-called wink experience with Dick Grayson?
That's the thing. Yeah. Why? I don't know if he was having flirtations with her.
Yeah.
Which is fine because you're like, all right, fine, he's a teenage, whatever. Yeah. But why is it their point? Why are they making it something? You know? Why are they going like, oh yeah, Dick's got a thing for older women? Maybe not. You know? Yeah. Who knows exactly?
It's super weird and uncomfortable.
Yeah, but Dick felt responsible for that, so he's like, I'll take Jason Todd in, and Batman, being Batman, goes, nah, bro, I'll take him in. I'm like,
yes, you do.
All right. Yeah, yeah. But I mean, for that it makes sense, yeah. Yeah. Because he's the one that has the money and stuff like that.
Yeah. Makes all sense.
Yeah. So, and I think because I was like, oh, so if Dick is giving Jason the Robin costume, and this is pre-crisis, what happens? Is Dick still going to be? We can't be Robin still. What's going on during this bit? Because this is obviously pre-crisis, and is Nightwing around yet?
Yeah, that's another weird thing about the pre-crisis, about Crisis, isn't it? Because it kind of started again, but doesn't start again. Because when Crisis happens afterwards, Dick is Nightwing still, right? So. Well,
no, that's the thing. After Crisis happens, Dick is Robin. So I'm like, what? Are you telling me the pre-Crisis Jason Todd was Robin while Dick Grayson was also Robin, which doesn't make...
Oh.
Yeah. But turns out, when I was looking at it, I was like, okay. So the Judas contract happens after Dick Grayson gives the costume to Jason Todd. So he becomes Nightwing at that point.
Okay.
That story happens pre-Crisis. Except after Crisis, when they reset the continuity, and we get the Jason Todd we're familiar with.
Yeah.
Anger issues, Jason Todd. Left on the streets to fend for himself.
Yeah.
At the beginning of that issue, Dick Grayson's Robin, and he gets shot in the shoulder by the Joker.
Yeah.
And then Batman's like, look, man, get out of my sight. Essentially. he doesn't say it like that, but he basically it's like, so like, I can't have you being endangered like that. You can't, you nearly died and blah, 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 right?
Yeah.
But in the very same issue, he goes and gets a new Robin. So,
Yeah. That's...
But then again, this is Batman. He does stuff, he'll contradict himself, and he won't care.
Yeah, as you do,
Yeah, like, what we know about Batman is he'll do stuff for the benefit of himself.
Yeah, because that's how Batman rolls,
Yeah, he's got issues.
Yeah. And
he will never say what the actual issue is. He'd rather just throw shade at you to make you go away.
Yes. This is why all these relationships with these kids are messed up in a way. Until recently, but yeah.
Or even recently, the stuff he's been doing, man.
Yeah, and that new story was going on. I can't remember what it's called, but yeah.
Gotham War?
Yeah, there we go. Yeah.
But, so okay. So, pre-crisis, Jason Todd, I don't think I want to say he was up to much or didn't do much, but the thing is, he was a more cheerful, friendly guy.
Yeah.
And Batman, I think he trained him for several months before he actually let him go out
6 months,
on
I
patrol.
think.
So
Yeah.
something like that.
Yeah.
So it was like, okay, yeah. I mean, I don't like the rip-off version of Dick Grayson's origin for Jason Todd.
No. It's lazy.
Yeah, exactly. You agree, yeah?
Yeah.
You're saying, but do you prefer that? Okay, which origin do you prefer? The pre-crisis or the post-crisis?
Post-crisis.
Yeah,
Because it actually gives him a character.
Yeah, exactly. And it's not like, okay, fair enough. He's not exactly the most. He's got issues, right?
Yeah.
He's very abrasive. However, it distinguishes him a lot.
Yeah.
And I think there's ways they could have tapered. Actually, you know what's really funny? Since they've revived Jason,
Yeah.
and they've given him flashbacks in the later revivals and stuff like that, make it sound like he's got anger issues from the start.
Yeah.
But when they're doing the actual stories, it's not like that.
No.
It's like, yes, he's got his mum's a drug addict.
Yeah. Dad's a criminal.
Yeah. And he's boosting tires and selling whatever to survive by himself because his mum OD'd and his dad just
Unquote OD'd. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, his dad died, whatever, right?
Yeah.
Depending on which retcon is what, yeah?
Yeah.
But he's looking after himself, though, yeah?
Yeah.
He must have some skill if he's boosting wheels of the Batmobile, though.
Yep, because no one else has apparently done that except for.
Well, seeing as you know how they upgrade everything.
Yeah.
So Batman's suit never used to have armor or whatever it was, and then he got an armored suit and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So sometimes, like the old stuff that happens where he's wearing a suit underneath an actual suit.
Yeah.
You're like, okay, that can't happen. That was one in Nightfall where he wore a suit on top of his bat suit. But I think when Poison Ivy was taken over, wherever, right? And you're like, okay, so how do they fit that underneath that? Like, okay, fair enough. It was, I don't know how layered it was, right? But definitely, as we saw from the Batman with Robert Pattinson,
yeah,
if you wore something like anything on top of the bat suit,
yeah, it's not gonna work. No, it's way too big.
Yeah, and seeing as how they how upgraded the Batmobile is now, it's like, how the hell will Jason Todd steal wheels off a Batmobile? But that just tells you the amount of skill he must have.
Yeah. He's street tough. Yeah.
I mean, what they should do is just lean into that. Then just say, how brazen is that? But not only that. Yeah, he must have some intuit engineering ability because you know he can do stuff like that. It's like okay, well even though they don't mention none of that at all. But and then he beats Batman up with a tire iron, right?
Yeah.
Well, he doesn't beat him up with it. He hits him in the gut and then he runs off.
Yeah, and Batman's like, haha. I know who you are anyway. I'll find you, child. Which he does.
Yeah. Not only that. So just to show Jason is extra bad, he runs off. He goes to his rundown apartment or whatever it is, and he starts smoking crack. I don't know, but you know.
This is where they went a bit too far, in my opinion. But yeah.
Well, no, he's not actually smoking crack. But
no, but I mean, like, he's a bad boy because he smokes. Because that's what bad kids do. Really.
Yeah, exactly.
Bit of a reach, all right.
Yeah, and actually, what's funny is the first story that he was. So, I believe Batman was like, all right, kid, I'll give you a chance. There's some boarding school, whatever, I can send you to, yeah? Otherwise, we'll send you to social services. Yeah. It's like, all right, I'll go to that boarding school. And then it turns out that boarding school's got a bunch of criminals, like, you know, people breaking it. You know, it was a cover for something else.
Yeah.
And then he's like, right. They're like, oh, this is Batman's stooge. He told, you know, that Batman dropped him off here. So they go and beat him up, and Jason Todd is like, he fights all of them off, and then they're like, oh well, you know, to prove you're not with the Batman, you come and commit a crime with us or something like that, and then he does and he doesn't, right? He stooges them in because he is the Batman stooge after all.
Yeah, he's Batman's inside man or child, well, you know, without even knowing.
But aside from the refresh of Origin, I think as far as personality goes, he's fine. As in, you know, there's nothing dislikable about him to that level.
Yeah.
You know, I think later on, maybe they gave him a sharper edge, which then you're like, okay, how do we do this? Yeah, 50-50. But right now, like, you know, you can still. He's still a cool kind of kid. Yeah. He just had a couple of issues in his past that he's trying to get over.
Yeah.
Essentially.
Which he's trying. Which is good. I like him trying.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. And then I think we spoke about this before, but there was a you know, okay, in the world of fiction, diplomatic immunity allows you to do all sorts of crazy stuff.
Yeah.
Okay? Even though that's not how it is in the real world.
No.
So I think some diplomat's son gets a bit too frisky with some ladies. Does stuff he's not supposed to do.
Yep.
Jason Todd doesn't like that one bit whatsoever. They get away because of diplomatic immunity, and Jason Todd like, no, this is not how is the world is going to work for you, jabronis.
Yep.
So then he swings over to their place, and next thing you see is this guy's on the balcony. This guy's on the balcony. Jason Todd appears. As Jason Todd Robin appears, and then this guy falls off the balcony. Like, next panel, you just see him just dropping straight down. Batman appears, swings and goes to Jason. What happened? And Jason looks at him and says, he slipped. It's like, okay, how much do we believe you? It's like, did he slip or was he pushed?
Yeah. Who knows?
You know.
Is that ever revealed? Or is it...
Well, I think it's meant to be one of those where it's 50-50.
Yeah.
However, that when I look at the logic of the panel, so the guy's back is towards the edge of it, and the long side is to his side. So when he falls, you would think if he fell with his back down with his feet, like as you would if you got shocked and you fell backwards, right?
Yeah.
Your feet would be up in the air in the direction you came from.
Yeah.
But he fell. He came from the side.
Yeah.
He's like, did he? So you spooked him. He didn't take a step back. He took a step to the side and rotated.
Yeah.
I don't know. You know, just like logically, if you could argue, if he fell backwards, okay, maybe, right? But if he was pushed, I don't know. You know, the way he went down, he's like he could have been pushed because where Jason is drawn next is exactly the side where the guy was.
Yeah.
However, what I'm gonna say is just like Batman Begins, right?
Yeah, I don't need to save you. You know?
Yeah, he just didn't save him. He didn't kill him. He just didn't. You know?
He doesn't have to kill you, but he doesn't have to save you. You know.
Yeah. Exactly.
That's logic I can somewhat get behind. You know.
And I think this was actually the issue after Batman was in, like, find some people at a this dude's car, whatever it was.
Yeah.
What was it when they I don't know. It's not a car garage park thingamajig.
A car lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Jason Todd, I think he pushed a whole bunch of cars on these people. So whether you say these cars crashed and killed these people, I don't know. But he thoroughly endangered them and sent them to the hospital if that was the case, you know.
Yeah.
So he's getting a bit more,
unruly. Yeah.
Yes. Exactly.
But is that his fault?
Well. I think they're trying to play up the anger issues because I think after that we're heading straight into death in the family.
Yeah.
So at this point they were like, whether he's likable or unlikable, we don't care.
Yeah, we've already dug his grave. Yeah.
exactly. And so I was like, okay, what's post-crisis Jason Todd's first meeting with Nightwing, Dick Grayson like? Because pre-crisis they were on friendly terms.
Yeah.
You know, it's like I gifted you the Robin identity because Batman always needs a Robin, right?
Yeah.
And me and Bruce didn't have this beef that we, you know, post-crisis, me and Bruce have beef because he's like, yeah, I banish you.
Yeah.
And then I recruit some other kid.
To get back at you. Yeah.
Well, no, to be a hypocrite because I've endangered you, therefore you can't be with me.
Yeah.
Instead, I'll endanger some other guy. Well, all right.
Yeah.
Yeah, what? What's your logic? Yeah.
There is no logic.
So, exactly. It's it's getting Charles Xavier in here, right?
Yep. The worst father. Yeah.
So yeah, so their first meeting was a pretty neat one actually because I think Jason's stalking some thugs like they're gonna go and create they're gonna make cocaine or crack or whatever it is.
Yeah.
And then Jason's just on the skylight looking in. Someone smacks Jason to the back of the head and he falls through the skylight. So it's obviously one of the thugs, right? And they're like, oh yeah, if Robin's here, then Batman's not far behind. Let's get him. And then Nightwing jumps in and goes, nah, exactly. You ain't gonna do nothing to the kid because we'll just beat you up. And they're like, what are you gonna do? Beat up people that have nothing to do with no criminal activities whatsoever?
Yep.
Because if you think there's something here, where is it? And Nightwing's like, all right, well, sorry for the damage, people. Here's some cash. Very hush hush. Yeah. And they're like, and then Jason's like, why'd you give him the money? Why'd you like? Well, first of all, the drugs are coming in tomorrow. And secondly, they're gonna take that money and not report because they are criminals. You know? Yeah. And then it's like, and then but before that, me and Bruce are gonna have some words. And so, so Dick drives to the Batcave, and he just has him and Bruce just he trying to be calm with Bruce, and Bruce just being typical Bruce, just shouts at him.
As you do, yeah.
Yeah. And he was like, no, you left me. For 18 months you didn't have any contact with me. It's like, Bruce, you fired me, and you told me to get out of your life. Essentially, I did what you told me to do.
Yeah.
So whether you do or don't do it, you're always going to be wrong with this version of Bruce.
Batman.
Yeah, you can never. He's like a true father. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like a true father.
Like,
whatever you do is going to be wrong.
Anything good for him? Yeah. Everything's exactly. Not up to his standards. Yeah.
Yeah.
Worst.
And then it's like, so he's like, Bruce, tell me why? Okay, you told me as a 19-year-old kid, you didn't want me to be Robin because I got shot and I was in danger. And then you recruit some 12-year-old or whatever. What's up with that?
Yeah, with less experience. But,
exactly. And then Bruce just tried to guilt trip Dick by saying, "You left me. It was you." I'm like, what? And then Bruce is like, because I was lonely, because you left me by myself. And stuff like that, and then he has Nightwing. He's Dick's like, Bruce, come on, we can sort this out, and Bruce is like, Nightwing, I'd appreciate if you leave right now. I'm like, whoa, Bruce,
weird.
Yeah,
he's always so petty.
Yeah. And so then Nightwing goes off. He goes to resolve the crime from the earlier in the issue, and he sits on the rooftop and he's waiting for like Jason Todd, Robin to appear because I knew you'd come here. By the way, this is for you, and it's Nightwing's Robin costume because obviously he's like, Jason, you'll grow into it in a couple of years' time, but you should take it now.
Yeah.
And then they go and beat up the criminals, stop the drugs getting distributed and whatnot, do the Predator handshake. And yeah, and Nightwing's like, look, here's my number. Give me a call if you ever need to talk to anyone, because you know how Bruce is. He don't, he causes more problems than he solves with any family stuff.
Which is Batman's MO at this point, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And then Batman is up in the dock, the ship is contained in the dock somewhere, and he's like, he cracks a smile because it's like, oh yeah, his children are, bros now.
They're getting on, yay.
Yeah. But it's like, Batman, so okay, are you telling me you created them to have a mutual hatred for you, to manipulate them to be best friends together?
Yeah.
What?
Broken, yep.
Yeah, like, why do you need to overcomplicate things? Why does it need to be that way? Why do you be like, why can't you just say, oh, we can get along and stuff? Like, no, why do you have to make it all like super convoluted?
Yeah.
And then be like, yes, I planned it all along. No need for that.
No need. But hey.
But then, because there's no need, there's every need, apparently.
Which makes it even more confusing. Yeah, which makes it even more confusing and pointless.
But yeah, getting to a death in the family. What did you when did you first read this? Was it later in your comics reading life?
Yeah,
or was
way
it
later. Because I knew about the book because I got told about it as a kid. But I never actually read it until, I want to say, after like the Hush and all that stuff, when Hush came about. So this is for 2005-06. I read this.
Wow, I think I read it in the early 90s somewhere. So this was kind of just about, just like a couple of years after it actually happened. So at this point, you don't. I think this is after the phone calls and stuff like that. So
yeah.
Okay, when you read it years later, because there's some wacky stuff going on within it, right?
Yes.
What did you think?
I enjoyed. Well, I'm gonna say I enjoy it. It's a That's a weird way to put it. It's a good, interesting read. Some of the stuff and the choices in it are super like of the time period. Like, oh, okay, why are they fighting a corrupt Saudi prince or whatever? I'm sort of confused about all this. And why would someone like that hire the Joker? This doesn't make any sense. It's sort of weird. Yeah, and then Jason Todd's mum being like an activist, but then sells out Jason. Yeah. There's lots of logic leaps in this.
And you know what's funny as well? When they were trying to work out who Jason Todd's mum was, Lady Shiva was one of those that could have been Jason Todd's mum. And then when they put some truth serum in her, she says she's never had children. And then like, okay, well, it's Cassandra Cain. Yeah. To be fair, this is pre-Zero Hour and all that stuff. So, I don't want to say how you can work it back into continuity or not, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, Lady Shiva, that section definitely is retconned.
Yeah, because she has a daughter. But yeah.
Like you said, right? It's completely. Some of this, by the way, is comedically over the top, which is a part of the problem.
Yes.
So not only does Jason Todd get kidnapped by the Joker, well, not kidnapped. Yeah. So his mum, the woman who says is his mum, anyways, right?
Yeah, because that gets like retconned and re-retconned a couple of times, well, doesn't it? Yeah.
She lures him into the building. He reveals that he's robbing her.
Yeah.
And then she somehow is working with the Joker. She's like, all right, I need your help. While Batman's distracted elsewhere. Gets into some warehouse somewhere. And then Joker and all his thugs beat up Jason Todd. In his Robin costume, of course.
Yeah.
The crowbar coming in there to play several times. And then you're like, all right, well. So he beats him up multiple times with a crowbar. He then decides to put a bomb, right?
Yeah.
Tie up the lady who double crossed, like Jason Todd. So he double crossed the double crosser. So now is Jason the face? Sorry, is Joker the face? I don't know. Yeah.
See, that's why it makes no
Okay,
sense.
and then the building blows up with Jason. Jason Todd unties her as well. By the way, he managed to untie her, even though when the dialogue box is like his bones are broken and whatnot.
Yeah.
It's like wow. Okay.
Determination.
But Batman doesn't get there in time, and then he's like lifting the corpse of Jason Todd. Even though you're like, well, I don't know how burnt that body would have been in the middle of an explosion.
A fresh explosion as well, but yeah.
Exactly. He just looks like he's been. He doesn't look like he's been in an explosion.
No.
Even though he looks like he's beat up.
Yeah. So if anything, the explosion was like overkill when you think about it.
Yeah, exactly. But the funny thing is, I saw the artwork for the if you got voted to survive page.
Yeah.
Because everything was the same except the if he survives page, where it's just like Batman's lifting the body and he's like, it's a miracle, he's alive. It's like, no, how did someone survive that?
Exactly, internal organs and stuff. All right, sure.
Like the crowbar being fine, but it is the bomb.
Yeah.
The bomb will finish you.
Or maybe he used his mum as like a shield of some sort.
Well, okay, fair enough. If he untied her and then she's like, "Oh damn, let me sacrifice myself for being such a out of order person,
being such a terrible mother,
being such a B word, right?
Yeah.
And then maybe, but this is dynamite. It's not a grenade that she's jumping on. It's dynamite.
Yeah.
Several sticks.
Warehouse filled with it. Yeah.
Yeah. So So
reach. Yeah.
So that's how he died. I was like, oof,
my goof.
Yeah, and I'm like, and what was the logic, by the way, of if he survived? What were you gonna do? Is he gonna be at that point? He survived the explosion. Was he gonna be like in like a wheelchair for the next 500 issues or something like that?
Yeah, it's not really full out, is it?
No, because he's gonna have a skin graft. What is he gonna? He's gonna be out of action for a very long time.
Yeah,
unless you're gonna go for some miracle healing and he's gonna be fine. But
yeah, I can't think how that would work.
No. And would they just have Tim Drake in anyways?
That's the other thing. Yeah, what would have happened with that?
Oh, you know what? They could have turned Jason Todd into the Oracle, into like their version of Oracle.
Yeah, they could have. Yeah.
If they were going to that, but then again, I don't know the logic of what they would. They probably didn't think that far ahead.
No,
they're like, let's see if he dies or lives, and then we can always
go from there. Yeah,
yeah, and then we always write. He doesn't need to be in the next set of issues afterwards, anyways.
Nah, write him off for a bit and he comes back. Yeah.
This is why also later on in Death in the Family where Batman punches Superman in the face.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, Superman flies down and says, there's an issue, Batman. If you try to do anything to the Iraqi ambassador, and he goes, what do you mean? Yeah. The new Iraqi ambassador representative, you're not allowed to do anything to him. Come here to make sure. He goes, who is he?
Yeah, that was always so weird.
Yeah, and then he punches Superman in the face. Superman's like, you know what, you would have broke your hand if I didn't roll with that punch.
Yeah, it's like, I'll let you off because you're grieving. All right.
Sure. And then it turns out the new Iraqi ambassador is the Joker. And it's like,
yeah,
okay,
yeah. Yeah.
Why would you allow a known criminal to be a representative? Yeah, whatever, right? But then again, American tension with the
yeah. So that's what I'm saying. This is very of its time.
Yeah, and I wonder if in new continuity this still happens. But Joker just decides, all right, I'm going to gas everyone in the United Nations or wherever it is.
Yeah.
And then Superman's like, nah. He huffs in all the gas. He blows it into the atmosphere. Joker tries to get away. And Batman jumps into the helicopter and causes it to crash.
Yeah.
And Joker gets shot by someone trying to shoot Batman. And then I think Batman tries to find the body, but he couldn't. And then I think that Joker does not appear for a while in Batman comics until Tim Drake appears. Until it's that Two-Face Tim Drake story.
Yeah. See, it's all weird. Weird.
Yeah.
I'm glad when they did the animated version of Under the Red Hood, they changed it. Because that'd been very questionable.
Yeah, here's the thing, right? You don't... Okay, so did you read Under the Red Hood comics when it came out?
No, I think I read that a bit afterwards.
So did you watch the animated movie first?
No, I read the comic first, but I didn't read Under the Red Hood when it was coming out. I think I read it like about a year after.
So which version do you prefer? I know they're mainly the same, but there are differences.
I prefer the animated version. Yeah,
because a lot more things make sense, right?
Yep.
The comics version would be like, yeah. So everyone's basically saying, as far as the readers are concerned, they're like, okay, so the easiest thing to do would make him get resurrected from Lazarus pit, yes?
Yeah.
No, it's the retcon punch.
Yeah.
From Superboy that broke time, that did all these reverberations through the timeline, and then caused Jason Todd to come back from his grave as a zombie-like character who then got put into Lazarus pit, who then decided to hook up with Talia.
Yeah.
Because she brought him back. And then they retrained him in the League of Assassins or whatever it is, and then he'd go to get revenge on Batman.
Yes, so muddy.
All right. You didn't need all of that.
No. It was dumb.
Yeah.
Actually, it's not like the punch on the wall. It's like, okay, that kind of makes sense. He restarted, whatever, cool.
Yeah, because they'll go to Infinite Crisis at that point, anyways.
Yeah, because okay, yeah, that makes sense. What when it starts getting stupid to me? Because I remember reading at the time, Under the Red Hood, The Lost Years.
Yeah.
Like, I was with it to a point, like, okay, yeah, cool, we got trained and all that stuff. And mind you, remember, he's still... Like, so he gets... So how old do you say he was when he died?
The big pause for me, because I realised I would... Okay. Now, I'm going to say... My logic, by the way...
Yeah.
This is going to be pre-0 hour, yeah?
Yeah.
So I would say he was... 12 when he was Robin, right?
Yeah.
And then he like the way he's drawn, he's like older. So even though he's Robin for 2 years, as far as comics go, 2 years is about half a year.
Yeah.
So he'd still be 12, right?
Yeah.
But it looked like he was about 15. I think as far as Zero was concerned, because after when they did Crisis, they didn't have a plan.
No.
They knew at what point the Crisis on Infinite Earths was going to end, but I don't think they worked everything to all the continuity to restart by that point and continue forward at a certain point.
Yeah.
That's why we had the mess with the Hawkmen, which was Carter Hall and Carter Hall, where he was the Wagnerian spy and stuff like that, even though he still was Carter Hall in Justice League, because they just didn't streamline all that stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think in 0 hour, Jason Todd was Robin for like about 2 years.
Yeah.
Which, if he was 12, would make him 14 when he died.
Yeah. So, okay. So, alright. And so we're trying to say, in that time, so he got brought back, and he was basically groomed by Talia.
Yeah. Well, no. To be fair, we don't know how long he'd been dead before the retcon punch reverberations brought him back to life.
But even so, okay, say he was dead for 5 years, whatever, yeah?
Yeah.
And then a retcon punch brought him back to life.
Mhm.
technically he's still the same age he was when he died.
Oh yeah, okay. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
So it's still odd. I just kind of think of the retcon punch happened, and he was dead for like a couple of weeks, and then he came back. Because then,
Well, he was walking around in a comatose state for quite a bit as well.
yeah. So then it kind of age-wise lines up. It was the other way. Then.
Yeah.
Ugh.
But then the problem is with the new 52, where Batman's timeline is only 5 years. No, Rebirth was it?
Yeah.
No, it's new 52, wasn't
New
it?
52. Yeah, because I think Rebirth kind of forgot about all that stuff. But
Yeah. So Jason was Robin, and he died within the same year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
So if he was Robin when he was 12 and he's 13. No, if he died in let's just say he's 13, right? Because let's say he had a birthday between that year.
yeah.
Then Talia, you're a predator.
Yeah. So no, and then there was some weird plot where they're going to try and say that he was actually Damien's dad.
Really?
Yeah, but they scrapped that because it made no sense. Be dumb.
Okay. It'd only work if you say his dad via DNA, whatever.
Yeah.
You know, not actual his dad. They used the DNA to create Damien or something like that. You know.
Yeah. Either way, it's like that's stupid.
Yeah.
But, so yeah, under the red hood. Yeah. So yeah, I preferred the animated version because it made more sense.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, I think the animated version didn't want to explain the retcon punch and all that stuff because there's a lot of continuity going on there, right?
Yeah.
They're like, no, we'll go for the most straightforward
Yep.
version of the story that could possibly be.
Yep. He got blown up. Ra's al Ghul felt bad, stole his body, put in Lazarus pit, and then he went crazy. And he's like, "Oh no, oh, okay."
Yeah, yeah. And then he's like,
Simple.
"Well, my logic is that Joker killed me.
Yep.
But Batman didn't kill the Joker in revenge. Therefore, I shall try to get Batman to kill the Joker."
Yeah.
To tie the time loop? I don't know. I don't know.
Complete the circle? Yeah, I don't know.
It's like, not that he couldn't kill the Joker himself. Because we know, as far as comics continuity is concerned, Joker is immortal.
Yeah.
He can never get killed.
He can never die, apparently. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because he's a force of nature, apparently. Yeah.
Except for when he's the three Jokers and he kills two, and Joker kills two of those, right?
God,
no, Jason Todd killed one of them.
Yeah.
He actually did kill one of them. So
Yep.
yeah. But I don't. Actually, no. Okay, we'll get to that when we get to that, right?
Yeah.
But were you reading the Captain America storyline, like the Winter Soldier storyline, as this came out?
No, that's another one I read later. Because I started reading Captain America, I want to say, like, a couple months before they killed Bucky off again and Steve came back as Captain America.
A couple months before they killed Bucky off again?
Quote unquote, killed him off again.
When was that?
Fear Itself, when basically...
Oh,
yeah. That's why, quote unquote, killed him. Yeah. Because I started reading it a bit then, because I was like, oh, cool. But the two characters they said will never come back, Bucky and Jason Todd. I like both these characters. I'm going to read them. And then I got into Captain America, and then, they're killing off Bucky again, quote unquote. Awesome.
Yeah, so the three characters that apparently would never come back, two of them did come back, and we could argue Uncle Ben also came back because in the Spider-Verse, he was one of them Spider-Men.
Yeah. So kind of,
But yeah, so accidentally, Marvel and DC had two sidekicks coming back around the same time.
Yep.
And I'm going to be honest, right? The Winter Soldier storyline was much, much better than this one.
Yeah, because it didn't have as much weird leaps in logic. Yeah.
Well, not only that, but the Ed Brubaker's retcons worked.
Yeah.
A lot more.
Yeah.
And his storyline lasted like several years to the build. And the Winter Soldier was like an unknown entity, which there was a sneaking suspicion.
Yeah.
Here, Red Hood was more or less Jason Todd.
I don't wait.
Just
yeah, because they kind of foreshadowed it in Hush.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Yeah.
Prior to the Under the Red Hood storyline, there was the Hush storyline, and Jason Todd supposedly, right? So, somehow Batman got led to Jason Todd's grave, which was dug out, and then underneath the Hush mask, when Hush took away his bandages, it turns out to be Jason Todd,
Yeah.
who is holding Tim Drake Robin by the neck with a gun
Yeah.
to Tim Drake's head. And I think then Batman went to chase Jason Todd.
Yeah.
Or was it a knife? Was it a knife? It wasn't a gun.
No, it was a knife. It was a knife. It's that circular knife thing. Isn't
Yeah.
it?
Yeah, because I think even though Hush had guns,
Yeah.
Jason Todd hadn't had guns at that point. So yeah, then it turned out to be Clayface.
Yeah.
Pretend to be Jason Todd. Except that then it turned out to be part of it was Jason Todd. Then he tagged in Clayface when he ran into the church.
Yeah.
Yeah. And yeah, but that was a retcon.
Yep. Stupid one, but yeah.
Yeah. So after the Hush storyline, I think Jeff Loeb was going to write a 6-part storyline, what happened to Jason Todd's body or whatever, where he was going to actually retcon him back to being alive or not.
Okay, yeah.
But yeah, Judd Winnick. Then Judd Winnick took over and he wrote the Under the Red Hood storyline. So it wasn't in continuity. Well, they weren't done by the same writer.
No.
And I don't know if this was part of Jeff Loeb's idea anyways. But it would have worked better if they had some form of communication with each other.
Yeah. Because I feel like Judd Winnick did the best what he could with what was left over for him, if that makes sense.
Well, it started good.
Yeah.
Right? Who's this mysterious character in the red helmet who, is capable of fighting Batman to a standstill?
Yeah.
And then Jason somehow got depowered as it happens, right? He just became less and less of a threat because
comics. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But even just before the return from the grave and all that stuff, Jason was, I believe, he made an appearance in Underworld Unleashed. I don't know if you read that storyline.
Nope.
That's when Nero was given Nero being the equivalent of the devil, Mephisto.
Yeah.
In DC continuity, he's been given villains and heroes extra powers or whatever they desire, whatever it is.
Yeah.
In exchange for their souls or simple tasks that lead to other things, right?
Yeah.
So he's trying to get Batman on the soul selling train.
Yeah.
And he says, "I'll give you back your Robin. I'll bring him back for you." And I'm like, wait a minute, are you telling me Jason Todd's in hell?
Yeah, that's
because how would he get into it? If he got, then he definitely murdered that guy, right?
Yeah.
If he went to the hell. Yeah.
That's a weird, yeah.
But I think, so Jason Todd, like the spectral form of Jason Todd's elsewhere. Then Neuron's like, down the end of the Batcave that Batman can't get to. And Neuron's like, you know what? The sound of a skull getting just crushed by a crowbar is like when a pumpkin gets squished.
Ooh.
And then so when Jason Todd's spectral entity version walks around the corner of the Batcave, away from Bruce, who's trying to Batman, who's trying to chase after it, you hear that squelch sound. Like, wow, okay, even though his head did not get caved in by a crowbar.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It was like, that's just for the neuron effect.
Oh, that's
no. In Death in the Family, he just got beat up by the crowbar. He didn't get his whole And then I think in I don't know if you read the storyline Day of Judgment.
No.
Where Hal Jordan becomes a Spectre.
Oh yeah. I have read it. Yeah.
So Jason Todd is one of the heroes in Limbo.
Okay.
Which helps when they need a hero that's not in heaven or hell, because you can't bring them back if they are, apparently. Then then you go to Limbo, who you can get a soul, whatever, right? And the heroes needed to fight their way out of Limbo.
Yeah.
Because all the villains are like, well, if someone's because villains being villains are like, well, you know, if anyone's going to leave Limbo to go into the body of the Spectre, or, you know, have an escape from here, it's going to be me because I'm selfish, right? So all them villains are going to do that stuff.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, Jason Todd is one of the heroes who helped stop the villains, you know, foiling the actual heroes, the alive heroes who are trying to get out.
Yeah.
With Hal Jordan's soul. Yeah. And then I think later on, Jason Todd is actually in heaven because when they go to get Oliver Queen's soul in the Quiver storyline,
Yeah.
he's there as well. And then it turns out all of that is nonsense because he's been alive all this time.
Yeah, makes sense. It does.
Yeah. All right.
Sure. No, all right. I guess.
Yeah. Now, when he came back, right, and he's chopping the heads off criminals, he ain't messing about.
Yeah. He dialed up the violence quick.
Yeah. It's like, all right. I mean, look, there's ways he can come back.
Yeah.
As in, you know, if you want to turn him to a more violent version of Batman, yes. But when you lop off the heads of criminals and go, yeah, these are all you guys down there. These are your second in command.
Yeah.
They're selling kids, drugs to kids, so I'll cut their heads off. Put them in a bag for you. Here you go. Like, and I put dynamite in the bag.
Yeah.
I was like, what?
But you know what? I reckon now, including Rebirth and all that stuff,
Yeah.
that bit didn't happen.
Well, I will argue,
Mm.
depending on how close he was coming out of the Lazarus pit at that point, you could say that's the insanity brought by that.
But like, if you're taking in because of like the Lost Years, Under Red Hood Lost Years, like he's been about for like a couple of years since being in the Lazarus pit. So that's what I'm saying. Like, I reckon they did this not planning to use Jason Todd afterwards, or in the way he ends up going later on in the comics.
Yeah. Popular enough to have his own actual ongoing series.
Yeah. So I reckon if they were to try and like, they probably try and scrub that from.
Well,
his new
yeah,
identity.
because it's different with the Winter Soldier when Bucky was getting
because he
revived
was,
because it was under mind control.
Yeah.
He didn't have his own memories or whatever it was, right?
Yeah.
You know, so they could do that.
Yeah.
Whereas he was straight up
just murdered people.
Yeah.
And not
by the way,
for, like,
just
a good reason.
Just before we jump into more Red Hood stuff,
Yeah.
I think there's two other memorable things Jason Todd did as Robin. And I don't know if you've read either of them. Have you read Batman the Cult?
No.
So you played Arkham Knight.
Yeah.
And you know about Deacon Blackfire.
Yeah.
Blackfire, sorry, Deacon Blackfire. Blackfire, not Blackfire.
Yeah, the cult guy. Yeah.
Yeah. So he managed to break the mind of Batman, and he got Batman to use AK-47s to shoot down some. So who Batman thought was Jim Gordon, but it was like some random homeless people.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds
and I think Jason Todd helped break him out that mindset. Yeah. Put him back into put some sense back into the guy.
Yeah.
Actually, you know, the cult is actually pretty good though. When you read it, like it's like, oh wow, you know.
Yeah.
That's something. Even back in the day. And then the other storyline the other story he was involved in was For the Man Who Had Everything.
Yeah.
I don't know if you read that.
Yeah, that's the one with Mongrel, Superman, Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
And they recreated the episode on Justice League Unlimited. Yeah.
And that's where. Yeah, but they didn't use Jason Todd. They didn't use a Robin in that one.
No.
That remake episode.
For legal reasons, but yeah.
Yeah. So, and for some reason, Jason's so hardcore, he goes into the Arctic without leggings.
Yeah, because those Robins are trained to not wear trousers. I don't know.
Yeah. Even though he makes a mention of why is Wonder Woman wearing what she's wearing?
Yeah. Look at yourself, dude. Yeah.
And then when the Black Mercy whatever it is, the plant thing that gives you your most happiest memories.
Yeah.
So it's on Superman, and then Batman tries to pull it off. It goes on to Batman while Wonder Woman's getting beat up.
Yep, getting murdered. But yeah.
Yeah. And then Jason Todd gets Mongol's gloves and pulls off Batman.
Yeah.
Like, I think so Superman's happy memories is like his dad was wrong. Krypton did not blow up.
Yeah, he had a
life, so he's got life on Krypton.
Yeah.
Except that now his dad's become like, being name called and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Batman's having the vision. Oh yeah, but then I think the effects of the Black Mercy weaken as the as long as it's attached to you.
Yeah.
Or if you fight the reality of it, it doesn't seem quite. It seems to start breaking.
Yeah.
So Batman's happy memories is somehow his dad beats up the criminal. So he's never.
His parents never die. Yeah.
Yeah. And so Jason Todd gets Mongol's gloves. He pulls off the Black Mercy off Batman, and then when Superman is beating up Mongol, well, actually no. To be fair, Enraged Superman is having a pretty good fight, except Mongol's still holding his own.
Yeah.
Jason Todd just throws like works out where they're going from all the holes that they punched into a whole Fortress of Solitude.
Yeah.
And then he drops a Black Mercy on Mongol, and Mongol, in his vision, Mongol slaps it to the side, and he burns Jason Todd to a crisp, and then he's sitting on the thrones of the skulls of all his enemies that he's killed.
Yeah. Like a true sadist. Yeah.
yeah. And then that's that, right?
Yeah.
Except obviously the Black Mercy just feeding him his fantasies.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's the thing. The last of the pre-Red Hood Jason Todd stuff.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
That is that's mentionable. Oh, well, that has some sort of something.
Yeah.
But yeah. So under Red Hood, he comes back. He's a threat, but then he doesn't become a threat once you work out. Once he takes off his helmet, he seems to depower himself, whatever reason.
Yeah.
And then he decides he's going to beat up Tim Drake.
Yeah, because Tim Drake took his spot.
Even though prior to all of this, when he was still alive, he was getting compared to the other Robin, who was Dick Grayson. Actually, one time Jason Todd gave himself up as a hostage. No, Jason Todd Robin, right? Because it's Robin guys. Two-Face had the hostage, and Jason Todd Robin's like, Two-Face, why don't you take me hostage? Now you have one over on Batman. Not only that, yeah, but I'm the second Robin, so it fits with your two theme. Yes.
Yeah.
And Two-Face is like, yes.
You got me there, pal. Yeah.
And then I think Jason. So he takes Jason Todd in the car, and then Jason Todd's like, "Yeah, I'm gonna hit the brakes right now," and cause your car to crash.
As you do, yeah.
Yeah. So that's how that was dealt with. But yeah, so Batman would compare him to the other Robin all the time, or in a positive way. Oh yeah, that's what the other Robin. He's like, Batman's like, you endangered yourself. But you know what? That's what the other Robin would have done as well to get the hostage out of the situation. So he keeps on saying stuff like that. And you, like when your parents always compare you to your friends, yeah.
Yeah.
What happens then? You start having beef with your friends.
Yeah.
Not because of anything like that. It's just like, why are they taking my parents' attention? Like, I don't know why parents. I know the logic of parents doing this. They want you to be as good as that person, right?
Yeah.
But doing it that way
doesn't help.
Just makes you hate the other person.
Yeah. How resentful.
It doesn't make you think, oh yeah, I could be like them or anything like that. It's just like you're comparing me to them, right? And if they're innately better than you at something, you can't help that.
No.
So, what is the logic? He doesn't benefit you because you now start to hate your friend.
Yeah. Which happens with
it doesn't benefit your parents because you're now not going to be trying to be better. You are going to try and be better than your friend for their approval, but the problem is obviously that's the power of spite.
Yeah,
isn't it? It's not friendly competitiveness. It's now you're creating an enemy. What?
Yeah. It's not gonna
Anyways.
help anyone. Yeah.
Yeah. So if anything, he should have went after Nightwing because of the comparisons to the other Robin. But
Yeah.
he's like, no, what I'm gonna do is get the guy who's less less physically the size of me, less experienced than me. Yeah. I'm gonna take him. All right.
Well, okay.
I'm gonna wear my original Robin costume with yellow tights.
Yeah,
right?
as a
And beat him up.
full-grown man. Yeah.
He's gonna wear boots as well. He's not gonna wear the no tight version of the Robin costume with the pixie boots. Nah.
So weird.
Yeah.
I'm gonna read now.
Yeah.
Like, this makes no sense.
and the only reason he's beating Tim Drake because he throws dust in Tim Drake's face or something like that.
Yeah.
It's like
something
man,
super petty. Like, really?
It's like give the guy a win then. You know, if you're gonna make him a threat, and he was physically able to do one-on-one Batman to a draw or whatever, let him have the win. You know,
But like,
it doesn't harm Tim Drake to lose.
This is what I was thinking. Like back then, they weren't planning on doing big things with Jason because they were just like throwing him random places and stuff. Like, oh, okay, this doesn't. Any sense. And then obviously they saw the success of Bucky as Captain America. I thought, you know what? We technically have our version of that. Let's make Jason Todd more appealing and likable. And
At what point did you think they tried to do that? Because everything pre-Infinite Crisis.
I would say they tried to do it during Countdown to Crisis, whatever it was. They tried to make him a more likable person.
Yeah.
And then Battle of the Cow happened, and they made him crazy again.
Yeah.
Which kind of made sense to me why they made him crazy, because Batman's dead, quote unquote.
Yeah.
And so he never sort of got chance to reconcile his issues with Batman.
Yeah, because Batman didn't kill the Joker for him.
Yeah.
Instead, he threw 2 batarangs and made Jason Todd decide whether he's going to take it in the neck or in the head or something like that.
Yeah. So he went crazy off of that, and then the whole weird change of the Red Hood when Grant Morrison was writing Batman and Robin, and then he.
Oh, you skipped a bit.
Have I?
Yeah, because after Infinite Crisis.
Yeah.
And they're doing 1 year later. So Dick Grayson
when he tried to be Nightwing.
Yeah. So there was a couple. So Nightwing. Dick Grayson was meant to die. Well, Dan DiDio wanted Nightwing to die because it was like, it's redundant to have Nightwing if he's not Batman, but he's not Robin. It's like, well, that's not great logic, by the way, because he is his own character now.
Yeah, with a huge fan base, but yeah, sure. All right, yep.
Yeah, and so I think during the 1 year later time skip thing, people writing the Nightwing character as though he was Jason Todd because that's what they thought was going to happen.
Yeah,
because you got to get your stuff written and artworked in front of when the thing's meant to come out.
Yeah.
So when Judd Winnick was writing Outsiders, that was meant to be. So Nightwing, Dick Grayson was kind of aggressive, and that was because he was meant to be Jason Todd.
Yeah.
And Jason Todd was also the new Nightwing in Nightwing.
Yeah. But violent.
Yeah. Except that that Dick Grayson was like, nah, this is not. Yeah. The same. And then he got some weird, wonky powers of some sort. Like what?
Yeah, but she's never touched upon again. Yeah.
No, exactly. And then Battle for the wait on.
Yeah.
Then Battle for the Cow, where he's like, you know what? All them people I murdered, I'm just gonna murder some more.
Yeah, because I'm grieving my daddy issues. Yeah. Again, I kind of get it because it's kind of like Carol's motivated. Yeah, he's got issues he needs to deal with.
Yeah.
But again, I reckon this is another bit they probably in Rebirth and stuff, because they tinker with events and stuff to make it more streamlined now. This bit where he went around killing people probably didn't happen as much.
Yeah.
Ugh. Yeah.
So he's running around being the murderous Batman.
Yeah.
Dick Grayson's in denial that he had to become Batman.
Yep.
So he's like, no. Even though I've been Batman before during Prodigal, ain't gonna happen again.
Yeah.
Right.
Bruce doesn't want this for me. Yeah.
Yeah. So Tim Drake has to go and dress as Batman.
Yeah.
Even though Tim Drake is clearly a teenager.
Yep. And he looks it in the costume.
Yeah. Yep. Gets beat up by Jason Todd's Batman.
Yep.
So then Dick Grayson's like, oh, fine.
Yeah.
Fine.
I have to get involved now.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And then
kicks Jason Todd off a speeding train or something like that.
Yeah, where he falls into the river.
Yeah.
And then he's like, I guess I'm Batman now.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then Jason disappears for a while. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then
it's like you're saying to me, like you're always saying, they don't seem to have a long-term plan for him. He just makes appearances, causes problems.
Yep.
Because I don't even say it's anger management, but they just need someone to push things along.
Yeah.
In an aggressive manner.
Yeah. He was just that sort of just character they used at that point, isn't it? Like, oh, yeah, we need some like chaos in it. Let's throw Jason in it. We're not planning to have anything long term, but for him.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. And that went on for like a good 10 years. But
Yeah. I'm kind of surprised he managed to get his own comics out of it, but
yeah. Because I think New 52 kind of gave him that chance, because I think at this point people was like, yeah, we need a Jason Todd comic. And like, oh.
Yeah. Yeah, so apparently, somehow, because Grant Morrison, like, you know how Damien came into existence, by the way?
Yeah.
What's the thingamajig that
was
it Son of the Demon?
Yeah, where Talia says that she's pregnant, but isn't in it. Yeah.
Yeah.
And she really was, apparently.
Yeah, because Grant Morrison didn't reread it before he wrote it. So he's like, so she was and pregnant, but wasn't. Yeah. But okay, yeah. Same with this, where Jason Todd in post continuity did not have ginger hair.
Yeah.
And dyed it black, but now all of a sudden he does.
Yeah.
What?
Apparently. Yeah.
Where'd it come from?
Who knows?
Yeah, and then he has this wacky white costume.
Yeah.
With like a red skull on it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which didn't make any sense, if I'm honest.
No. Like, why? And then he's like, oh yeah, we have to rebrand. It's all about, marketing and stuff like that. Wait.
Yeah.
What?
It made no sense.
No. And then he has a sidekick called Scarlet.
Yeah.
Who got scarred by Professor Pig or something like that.
Yeah, her face is a doll's face. Yeah. Something weird. Yeah, because she was one of Mr. Pig's kidnapped people, and he just sewed her face onto her, and it stuck with acid. I don't remember.
Yeah. I mean, look, they could have done something, but it's like, where are you going with this?
Yeah. Yeah, because even... this is another bit I reckon they tried to forget that happened. Because I'm reading a bit of Wikipedia now where he's in prison or something, and he poisons like 82 inmates.
Yeah.
And why?
Yeah, and I don't know if you read the Ultimate version. Was it Ultimates? I can't remember exactly, but Punisher also did that in one of the Ultimates.
Yeah.
He got sent to a prison and he just murdered all the prisoners.
Yeah.
And then Nick Fury is like to him, yes, fist bump. So you're here to deliberately do this. Right. Because Ultimate Nick Fury be like that.
Yeah, Why? It's not a thing. Yeah, so again, I think this is another thing they probably scrubbed from the
Red because if Batman is like, okay, so you get killers, you get these killers put in jail. But Jason Todd's killed a lot of people.
Yeah. It just makes
I'm
him
going to team up with him.
an enabler, really.
Yeah. So you either keep Jason Todd out of the Batman's peripheral.
Yeah.
Right. Obviously, he'd be murdering people and stuff like that. But if he does it outside of Gotham, Batman's not going to chase him.
Yeah.
Batman will be like, that's someone else's problem.
Yeah.
And obviously, we've got a bond of some sort, so I feel guilty if I get him arrested or whatever.
Yeah.
But then also, you do all sorts of other crazy stuff, Batman, to your kids. So I don't,
Yeah.
putting them in jail probably is one of the least
bad things you've done to a child of yours. Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly.
And then and then we got to then after that's New 52, where they scrub a lot of this.
Yeah. New 52, by the way, where he managed, where Jason Todd got his own comic,
right after that,
Red Hood and the Outlaws, with Starfire.
Yep.
And
Arsenal. Yeah.
Starfire being written very
weird.
Yes.
Yeah,
Very very strange.
Yeah.
Very out of character.
And then they also, it's the start of Red Hood and the Outlaws is really weird.
Yeah.
Because this is where they weren't too sure what existed from previous continuity and what didn't, because they picked and choose. Because first they kind of written that Starfire knew Dick Grayson and that.
Yeah.
But then had some memory wiped by something, and then later on that never happened.
Well, as far as I get the logic of is they said that, but then another comic book said something else.
Yeah,
and they just didn't reconcile it.
Yeah, because it was like,
and so then people are like, I don't know. Shrug.
It makes a lot of what happens in that comic weird, but yeah, and also
the Titans did exist, and then they didn't exist.
Yeah, exactly.
The Teen Titans, never existed. Yeah,
but then they do later on. Yeah, it doesn't
make
any sense.
Cool.
But then
This is where the Joker apparently manufactured Jason Todd's existence to become Robin.
Yeah, which again they erased this, but yeah.
So he managed to masterfully manipulate all sorts. So Batman would make Jason Todd Robin. Yeah, which is like, okay, how do you know all these things are going to happen?
Mm-hmm.
And then you could get Jason Todd killed.
Yeah.
No, I don't know why they decided to do that. I don't know if where they're thinking, oh, it's super clever because the Joker. No, the Joker doesn't have any plans. Personally, he'll just murder people for jokes. I don't think he's a long-term planner whatsoever.
That's
right?
what makes him unpredictable.
Yeah, and he don't have the patience to time something for 4 years.
Yeah.
Oh no, there was that one time though for that he what did he do? He harassed some guy for years on end to drive him crazy.
That's different.
That I can get, right?
Yeah. Same. But this other stuff doesn't make any sense. I'm glad
a lot of coincidence has to happen.
Yeah.
For that to get to the point where you can murder the guy. Like, no.
Yeah. No.
I like to pretend this doesn't happen.
No, that's
doesn't exist.
That's what they've done as well.
Yeah.
Like,
best for all of us.
Because it just doesn't make any sense. Yeah. And then, we had Red Hood and the Outlaws, where they kind of more flushed out Jason's character, made him more than just angry ex-psychic guy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is like, okay, that's cool.
Yeah, he'll use guns, but like the Terminator, the T-800 in Terminator 2, he won't kill.
No, he'll just maim,
Yeah. Which, okay, I get. If you're gonna sell covers of with him wielding guns and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Why not?
Yeah, it makes.
Or
sense.
if they're non-lethal guns, if they shoot rubber bullets or some sort of whatever. Yeah.
Which makes sense. But yeah, I liked most of Red Hood and the Outlaws.
Yeah, I just found it a bit unfocused. Like,
Yes,
it didn't have an end game. It didn't
no.
you know,
It
it was just selling on the ability of, well, you know, more violent Batman essentially.
well,
Well, you know, well, I don't know. I wanted to see what they were going to do with Jason Todd.
yeah.
Not necessarily a more violent Batman, but just like when I was collecting some other titles, because you're like, oh, the key character. When I was collecting the Flash, when Wally West wasn't in it, but he was going to come back at some point.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm not a fan of. I wouldn't say I'm a super fan of Barry Allen, right?
Hmm.
But if Wally West is going to come back, he's going to come back in a Flash title, right?
Yeah, you would think that.
Yeah.
But,
Or like our boy Kyle Rayner, where it's like, okay, there's only one Green Lantern title, all the Green Lanterns are in it. Let's just see how our boy's doing, you know?
yeah. Because I'm trying to think. Because this is where they gave him more of a backstory, like why he was on his journey of finding himself before trying to come and kill Batman or stuff. He learned how to do some weird martial arts by the All Cast and the Untitled, all that weird stuff.
Yeah, and somehow he has the ability to cast, to have to wear some funky elbow ninja shanks or whatever you want to call them, right? In blades, and he fights Ra's al Ghul,
Yeah.
and he defeats him.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Okay.
wait, the only person of the Bat family who's ever beat Ra's al Ghul is Batman.
There's two now.
Yeah.
Which
All
I
right.
kind of like that. Like, okay, that sets him apart from the other Robins, I guess. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then you would have thought that put him up to a certain tier, yeah?
Yeah.
But no.
Yeah.
You know? He just seems a bit more of a... It's still... they didn't... Well, that makes him seem better than Dick Grayson, firstly, yeah?
Yeah.
But even then, they don't like, oh yeah, he got a significant win, right?
Yeah.
But they didn't use it to push him, you know? And I think, you know, Dick Grayson's got his couple of wins over Batman and stuff like that.
Yeah,
so there's something there.
Something there.
On occasion, right?
Yeah. On occasion. Yep.
Yeah. But the Robins are all different, so you can use them in different ways.
Yeah.
I just don't think that they use Jason optimally, and they're like, oh yeah, he's angry, yeah, you know.
But like recently, as we got to get further, they've kind of gone away from he's just angry. Like, he's more focused now.
Yeah.
Because like this is also like, I remember, because you know, Batman Incorporated was going on at the same time.
Mm.
There was some weird bit where he was this guy called Wingman.
Yeah, the Australian Batman, I believe. So it could be wrong.
I think he was something to do with Europe. I can't remember. Something weird. And then him and Damien teamed up. And then he's
but
like,
this is after he killed a whole bunch of people as well. So it's like, wait a minute, yeah, Batman, you were in cahoots with this guy all along.
Yeah.
But this guy is.
This is what I'm saying, like, some of Grant Morrison's stuff, I don't know how it fits in continuity. Because why this was going on, like, because this is the new 52 Batman Incorporated, which continued on from the pre-52 Batman Incorporated. But then most of Red Hood and the Outlaw stuff was set in space.
Yeah.
At the time. So how was he doing this and that at the same time?
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I think it was also Batman's relationship with Red Hood also. I think there's a point where Damien died.
Yeah.
And Batman's like, nah, I'm gonna resurrect my boy.
Yeah.
And then he's like, Jason, come here, we'll have some reconciliation time.
Yeah.
Come, let's go to this. You wear your Red Hood gear, I'll wear my Bat gear. Come in my Black Pain. We'll fly to location X, right?
Yeah.
And you can tell me about how, you know, the Lazarus Pit resurrected you and stuff like that. Yeah, it'd be a good conversation.
Yeah, like,
right?
What?
Yeah. And then Jason's like, even though they're flying to do whatever, and he's like, Bruce, I worked you out, man. You're just trying to ask me this stuff so you could just resurrect Damien.
Yeah.
using the same technique, isn't it?
Which you didn't do for me, someone else did
Yeah.
instead. But
Yeah.
alright, sure.
Yeah, exactly. So if you want that information, why don't you just ask me instead of pretending all sorts of other stuff?
That you
know?
care. Yeah.
Exactly. But because he's Batman, he just does it. He can't ask people no. He has to manipulate them.
Yeah.
He has to attempt to anyways. And then get called out on it and then go, no, it's your fault, victim blaming.
Yeah, he's a gaslighter, that's what he is, yeah. And then, because I think he briefly meets Batman before this as well during Death of the Family, where the Joker kidnaps all of like the Bat kids, I'll say.
Yeah.
And then cuts off their faces, but doesn't cut off their faces.
Yep.
What? I never understood.
So they're all tied to like the dinner table.
Yeah.
Right? They all tied their chairs around the dinner table. They've got their faces bandaged up because Joker's bandaged up his own face that he's cut off, and then stapled back on or whatever. And then they've got the the serving dishes with the covers on top.
Yeah.
And when Joker takes off all the covers, it's their faces put on ice because he's cut them off apparently.
Yeah.
But they're not really because it was a ruse all along.
Yeah, which I didn't understand.
Yeah.
That was at one point in that story I was like, I'm confused.
Yeah. Well, this is the Joker, right?
Yeah.
Why actually do it when you got the threat of doing it?
Yeah.
But then if you're a Joker, why didn't you do it anyways?
Yeah, you know what I mean? It doesn't make any sense. Yeah. So then after this, like you said, him and Batman fall out because Jason felt hurt by being manipulated, trying to find out how he brought back his son. But how to bring back his son, yeah. And then he joins forces with Batman again when they try to rescue Damian's body from Apocalypse.
Yeah.
And then Damian gets resurrected.
Yeah, because the Bat family decide, you know what, Bruce, he's got problems with communication. Yeah. And we're all the ones that have to be more mature than him.
Yeah. But wait, during this time, was Dick Grayson... I won't say it again, quote unquote.
Oh, yeah, no. I think he was... Oh, yeah, you're right. I don't think he was... No, he wasn't dead, but he wasn't Nightwing. He was Grayson.
He was
the spy.
Yeah, Agent 37, isn't it?
Yeah. Which was a fun series.
Yeah, I love that series. That was quite good. And then after that, I don't remember what happened after
that. I just remember all. Go on.
No, because I think after that, then Red Hood and the Outlaws kind of became Red Hood and Arsenal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then became Red Hood and the Outlaws again.
Yeah.
With
Artemis and Bizarro. Yeah.
Yeah, which I think were like as far as logically, it's one of those things where you're like, actually, they need kind of inverse Trinity of some sort. So yeah. Why not?
Yeah, why not? It was good. Yeah. I liked it. I'm trying to think what else happened during that. Yeah, because Red Hood before that, like when it was Red Hood and Arsenal, they were like guns for hire, and then they recruited what's her name, Julia Dent, or I say Joker's daughter.
Yeah, and
they tried to rehabilitate her, but then it worked and didn't work at the same time. Yeah, it was weird. It was super weird. And then what else happened? I forgot. And then after that we had Rebirth. Yeah, the new Dark Trinity, basically. That what they were called, weren't they? Really, because you had the reverse of Superman, Batman's Dark Son, and Artemis, who is she's a Amazon, right? But I can't remember gist is she disgraced Amazonian. That was it. Yeah, Oriole.
I by the way, this how do you pronounce Wonder Woman's mom's name? Hippolyta.
Yeah, Hippolyta.
Anyway, her, yeah. Ultimate. Okay, so she had. This is a Batman style manipulation, by the way.
Yeah.
So Hippolyta had a vision of some sort, or someone told her that Wonder Woman was going to die.
Yeah.
So then she made the trials to happen that whoever wins, whatever, will get the title of Wonder Woman. So then she deliberately makes Diana lose. So then Artemis gets the title and becomes Wonder Woman, only to fall dead because of the prophecy, for whatever it was.
That's so bad.
Yeah. Yep. I was like, that is straight up out of order. No, so I can be like, I could get why Artemis got beef.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah.
But wow.
Yeah, exactly. And then, yeah. And so you create beef with your own daughter and someone else who you threw to the wolves.
Yeah.
Well done.
Gracias. Wow.
Yeah.
Douche me as well.
But, these are... Well, first of all, Greek gods.
Yeah.
All sorts of craziness going on there.
Yeah.
So...
Yeah, it's just full of backstabbing, ain't it? Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, okay, that's main... So we covered pre-crisis, Jason Todd. Post-crisis, Jason Todd, yeah?
Yeah.
Have you... do you know anything about DC Animated Universe, Jason Todd?
Yeah, I thought I was going to quickly just touch upon current what's Jason doing now.
So, go on, yeah.
It's kind of a weird one. So, after the Red Hood and the Outlaws kind of broke up, or what broke up? The story finished. Yeah.
Yeah.
Jason decided that he's going to have a more street level costume design, if that makes sense. So now he just wears a hoodie with a mask covering his mouth.
Yeah.
Like a flat jacket sort of thing. And he walks around with a sword and the crowbar that murdered him.
Yeah. He's sleeveless as well.
Yeah.
Reason. Like, all right, shelf the guns, okay, but if you wore a jacket, at least you have protection around your arms, yeah?
Yeah. Which would make sense. Yeah, and then him and Batman fell out, and then he reconciled after...
Wait, is this they fell out because he shot Penguin in the face, or you get that, or have I skipped ahead?
No, you're right. He shot Penguin in the face, so they fell out.
Except he didn't shoot Penguin in the face?
No, he put Penguin in witness protection, if I remember correctly. Something weird like that.
Yeah.
And then Batman stopped having beef with Jason because Arsenal died during the whole
Heroes in Crisis?
Yeah. But then he's back alive.
Yeah.
With no kind of... Actually, he came back alive in Justice League Incarnation, I think it's called. Oh no. Yeah.
In either case, Batman decides now that Jason Todd's friend's back, I'm gonna beef with Jason again.
Yeah,
because that's how Batman does, right?
Makes no sense.
Yeah. When my boy is happy, I'll just go and beef him.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah. So I think they're on okay terms right now.
Well,
for how long?
I mean, in Gotham War, there's murkiness going on there.
Yeah. Because apparently, I haven't read it, but I want to read it. Didn't he say something really bad to Jason the other day?
I mean, he's doing some sort of hypnosis thing to Jason to make him, when his adrenaline spikes, he feels fear. How they're going to end, I don't know. But it's just like, Bruce, what are you doing?
Yeah. But then, I don't know. I've been hearing that it's not actually Bruce Wayne. Isn't he been taken over by, what's that?
The Ra's and Zar version of him. Azar. Yeah, but I get, yes and no, I guess, well, at this point of recording, that story hasn't finished, so we don't know how that's going to turn out. Right? Yeah. But yes, oh, before we go to the DCAU version of him, the three Jokers, like, which is that an Elseworlds? What do you think of it?
I think it started as not Elseworld, and then because it got delayed like 17,000 times, it just became
Yeah.
Elseworld because it doesn't make any sense anymore.
Yeah. And so there was the comedian, the clown, and the criminal, different versions of the Joker. And Jason Todd beat to death the version that beat him to death.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's just like, yeah, but what? Like what? I don't. Yeah. Whatever. And this is also the version of Jason Todd which, for some reason, did not leave Barbara Gordon alone.
Yeah. And
Please.
then they have a. There's too much weird.
This is where he stuck a handwritten note on Barbara Gordon's door, basically saying, "Yeah, I will stop murdering people if you be with me. However, if you don't want you want to pretend this note never happened, then we'll never speak of it again."
Yeah.
It's like, all right, and then clearly did not stick it very well because it just fell off the door.
Yeah.
And then the cleaner just swept it away. Like, all right.
See,
Yeah.
I didn't like this because that means Barbara Gordon's had relations with 2 of the Bat kids, which is weird.
Yeah, well, 3 if you count Arkham Asylum, right?
Yeah. So it's like,
And then Batman himself if you count killing Joker. Yep.
Yeah. Ugh. Yeah.
Barbara Gordon be getting around.
Yep. She can venture out, it's like,
It doesn't help her reputation, but
no. It's terrible. But yeah. So yeah, that's Jason.
Okay. So yeah, DCAU version. Have you read the season 3? Is it season 3? No, the adventures continue, right?
I think it is. Yes.
Yeah.
I haven't read it yet. I keep meaning to.
All right. Well, I won't spoil it too much for you.
Yeah.
Right. But I get the logic of why he's called Red Hood. Because when the kids committed the crimes, the person who was the scout wore the Red Hood mask.
Okay. Yeah.
But the balaclava.
Yeah.
Because he has ties to them, and he was Robin at one time, and then when he got resurrected and came back, and he's like, all right, well, I'm going to wear the Red Hood.
Yeah.
Makes sense. And it's kind of the same. I mean, the basis of it is the same as under the Red Hood, but it's done differently.
Yeah.
And strangely enough, Tim Drake took Jason Todd's origin in the animated universe.
Yeah.
But then Jason Todd still has his own origin.
Wait. So they have the same origin then?
Kind of.
Okay.
Kind of. But that's why I think they never intended to have Jason Todd in there to begin with. Because they would, in the animated series, they just thought they'd skip it.
Yeah, because I think during that time as well, I don't know, just no one really knew about Jason Todd, I guess.
Yeah.
Because realistically, in the world of comics, he was only around for 2 years, wasn't he? Really? Even though he wasn't,
I think it was in Nightwing: The Lost Years as well, which fills in the gap between where Dick Grayson goes around to be Nightwing in the DC animated universe continuity.
Yeah.
And by the time he comes back, Batman's training Tim Drake.
Yeah.
So, and I think he's gone for about 4 years or something like that. So there is time to slip in Jason Todd in there somewhere.
Yeah.
Right? However, it's one of those things where did they intend it? Because if they didn't intend it, why is Tim Drake's origin Two-Face killed his his dad or something like that?
Yeah. I don't know. I think they've done it to make it easier to say he's an orphan. You know what I mean? Just did we have to balance about how's this 8-year-old going out at night when his parents are at home? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I guess why?
Yeah. So, but they do in a way that works within their continuity.
Yeah.
Did you ever read Batman White Knight?
No, I was about to ask you about that. No.
So, you know about the White Knight continuity where Batman's only sufferable because he happens to be right.
Yeah.
In his deductions, though. But if he starts getting it wrong, if he's so arrogant that he's like, this is what it is, and then it turns out he's wrong, then he becomes dislikable.
Yeah.
And then Joker's a prankster rather than, a murderous clown.
Yeah.
So Red Hood's in that, Jason Todd's in that continuity, where he was a Robin. He was the first Robin.
Yeah.
Because Sean Murphy made a mistake.
Yep.
And forgot the order of the Robins. And then they thought, oh, let's work it into something. So he's beefing with the Bat family. Well, he wasn't. No, he went to the army. He was thought to have been dead.
Yeah.
And then because they thought the Joker killed him, but the Joker, like, I let him go. I beat him up. I let him go. I got all I needed from him because, you know, I'm not killer Joker. Right? Yeah. Just making Batman think I killed him. Woo. Right.
Yeah.
I think he went around Gotham for quite a bit. I don't think it's completely. So the storyline's not completely finished.
Yeah.
So I can't really say what's what, but he was training someone at some point to be like. He had an encounter with Dick Grayson.
Yeah.
With Nightwing, actually, and then, you know, they had a little tussle, and then he was training someone else to be some kid running about, some Asian girl running about trying to be Robin, but then he's like, no, you need some training. I'll train you. So I don't know what happens exactly after that, because I haven't read the rest of the series. I don't think it's all out yet.
Okay.
Or maybe it is, but I've got to go and finish it. But that's, you know, the version of Red Hood there.
Because I know, doesn't Terry McGinnis come into it as well?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because they frame... Who they frame? They frame Bruce Wayne...
Yeah.
...as someone who killed Terry McGinnis' parents or something like that.
Okay.
Yeah. But, I mean, this series is kind of murky with the way they do certain things. It's just like, okay, I suppose.
Yeah.
And it could be more interesting to take if things start making a lot more sense.
Yeah, because I was going to ask you, what is actually the premise of this? Because I
think the initial premise was like, what if Batman was a dickhead?
Oh.
And a Joker wasn't
as
a murderous. Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
And yeah.
Oh, really?
It's fine as an interesting take on it, but it's just like one of those things where you're like, okay, I gotta question mark certain things.
Yeah.
To dial up certain things, like the Batman's hateability, and dial down Joker's hateability. You know, his
Let's flip it, sort of. Yeah.
Batman, Jason Todd in Red Hood in the Arkham series. Yep. What do you think of? How do you think of that?
I liked it to a certain extent. Didn't really like his design. Well, I liked his design and everything, but the bit that kind of killed it for me was he has a J burnt into his face. I was like, that's a bit extreme, isn't it? Right.
Yeah.
Cool. But yeah, besides that, he's good in that. I get his anger, but yeah. It's alright. Nothing much to say about it, really.
I feel like they've tried to tell us the Arkham Knight wasn't Jason Todd.
Yeah.
But it was just better off having the Red Hood as the main villain. Or whoever, you know. Like, the Arkham Knight was a disguise that was like pointless.
Yeah.
Unless you're going to have the Arkham Knight who is someone else completely.
Yeah.
And then you could have Red Hood weave in and out through that game to antagonize Batman.
Yeah, it could have made sense.
Then you could have something else to build. Because then us people who do know will know, okay, if Jason Todd is the Red Hood, then who is the Arkham Knight?
Yeah. But technically...
And they could have just made an original character or something like that. Even though they could have made it John Blake. Oh, yeah, imagine how that would have went.
John Blake.
Yeah. So, yeah, I feel like they could have, like... If they weren't trying to pretend that the Arkham Knight wasn't Jason Todd, they could have done some more stuff with him.
Yeah. But, I don't know, I've always been like... If they told you from the start it was Jason Todd, be kind of, what's the point of playing the game? Because you know it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
But I
like,
think the logic of the people playing it, like who know enough of the backstory, would be like, it's probably him.
yeah, but you got to remember as well, like, and this is like gonna be, my maths could be wrong, whatever, but like 90% of the people who bought the Arkham games probably know barely any Batman's back history.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So they probably think there's like been one Robin and it's been Dick Grayson the whole time.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah.
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 So I kind of get it. You say that to appeal to the comic book fans. Like, oh no, it's not Jason Todd. It's a whole new character. To get them to buy it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was alright with it.
What do you think of Jason Todd in Tie-ins?
At first he was an annoying little crap, but then that was his whole point. So so I liked it. I liked it.
Yeah, I couldn't hate on him. I was like, I know exactly where this guy's going. I know exactly what he's gonna do.
Yep.
Right? He's written a particular way to be that sort of character.
Yeah. So I was okay with that. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah. So where he was going, what he was doing, is way he was doing it, all worked out for me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Except that when he became Red Hood and he started trying to murder all the Titans, and then in season 4 of Titans, Dick Grayson's like, "Yes, my buddy." I'm like, what?
See,
what happened to,
yeah,
like an off-screen conversation that they had that suddenly made them best friends. Like, all right,
because like I could kind of get it, but then like obviously he was being manipulated by Scarecrow the whole time. So yeah, I get that. Yeah. But then there's certain things I guess you can't get over, i.e. him killing Hawk. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Which is why Dick Grayson doesn't tell anyone about that he's friends with the Red Hood.
Yeah, which I kind of get. Yeah. Because that is his brother technically. So yeah, I get it.
So you'll send Tim Drake to go over there to get training, yeah? And he just hoped that when Tim Drake comes back, Tim Drake then mention, by the way, I trained with Red Hood.
Yeah. It's the Bat Boys. They keep each other's secrets. Yeah.
Yeah.
He'll be fine.
Yeah. I mean, it's going to be what it's going to be.
Yeah.
I mean, they're all trained by Batman to keep secrets or whatever, right? And the direction they're kind of all heading.
Yeah, it'll be fine. I guess.
There's one other continuity, Dark Knight Returns continuity. Did you? I don't know what you react like that for.
Because that's the worst continuity. But that's my opinion. That's my opinion.
Yeah. Did you read Dark Knight Returns: The Last Crusade?
No, that's the one with what leads up to Batman stop being Batman, right?
Well, yeah, kind of.
I kind of flicked through it. I didn't read it.
Yeah. So at the beginning of Dark Knight Returns, Batman's already retired from being Batman for 10 years. I think he finished his career at 45 because I think it's 55 when that restarts.
Okay. Yeah.
And Jason, this is 98. This is 1985.
Yeah.
Around that time. So this is during Crisis on Infinite Earths.
Hmm.
And Jason Todd dies in 1987. Yeah. So he's actually predicting the future in some way.
Yeah.
Even though Dark Knight: The Last Crusade is written only a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
But yeah, Batman being Batman starts beefing with Jason. And Jason's like, fine, I'll go and prove myself to you. Because that's what happens when you tell someone they're the trash, right? Yeah. Look what happened to Dick Grayson in that continuity.
Yeah.
So, but Jason Todd's been having his mean streak. So, what he is he Batman. They're chasing someone, and that someone just pops out the back of a car with a gun or something like that, and then Jason Todd Robin just jumps up the back side of the car and double stomps on the trunk and squashes the guy.
Okay.
Like, wow.
That's a bit much, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, blood all over the place. And Batman's like, he's too violent. He's untamed or whatever, right? I think Batman's injured by Killer Croc.
Yeah.
And obviously he's mouthing off to Alfred about Jason Todd.
Yeah.
So Jason's like, I'll teach him. I'll go and get the Joker who's out there. And the issue ends with basically Jason Todd finding out where the Joker is, trying to lockpick the door.
Yeah.
And then Joker inside, just whistling to himself or singing to himself, while his thugs outside somehow get the drop on Jason Todd and beat him up.
Yeah.
And then, Obviously Joker's like, oh, we're going to have so much fun together. So he's going to beat him up and kill him or whatever he's going to do.
Yeah, which leads to,
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Which, I don't know if Batman retires because of that, or does he beat up the Joker and then retire?
Probably, yeah. Kind of like,
in the time. Comment, sorry.
Oh, you're probably going where I'm going, right? Yeah, I see what you're
in Titans, he kills the Joker.
Yeah, and he says, I'm done.
Yeah.
I can't be Batman anymore, which makes sense, yeah.
And then, in all the other series where Batman's not in, he also kills the Joker. It's like, right?
Yeah.
Because in Batman, he kills the Joker. And that's why he stopped being Batman. So
yeah.
Like, okay. Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah. So yeah. I mean, do you think? Oh, by the way, so as far as Zack Snyder's DC universe is concerned,
yeah,
the Joker has all his, metal teeth and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Because Batman really did a number on him.
Yeah.
Now, depending on who he killed or not, because they have in the Suicide Squad. They were, it was Harlequin and Joker who killed Robin.
Yeah.
Zack Snyder says it was Dick Grayson they killed.
Yeah.
But logically, in continuity, it should be Jason Todd.
Yeah.
However, whatever,
Yeah.
I mean, it's his universe, he does whatever he wants with it.
But...
Well, no, go on, you're going to say.
No, I'm going to say, because like, his universe, technically, it could... How they've kind of portrayed Batman in that, he could... It could be Jason Todd.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because he's the old grizzled Batman and like...
Yeah. Well, yeah. He could have been any of the Robins, actually, at that point. He's been around for so long.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I prefer if it was Jason, but yeah.
Yeah. Who knows exactly what they're going to do and where they were going with it.
Yeah.
I think they probably didn't think that far themselves. It'd just be cool for Batman to start being more violent because one of the Robins died.
Yeah.
And that was yeah. But us comics people were like, Batman doesn't like, his behavior is more Jason Todd, Red Hood than actual Batman at that point. But,
yeah. Or White Knight Batman, I don't know. Because does White Knight Batman kill? I don't know.
No, he doesn't.
Oh, what's the point? Yeah. Oh, what a loser.
Yeah, so, yeah. I don't. Yeah. But yeah, so, yeah. Jason Todd. A lot of potential.
Yeah.
I think, as a character, they do things that... I don't know, wishy-washy with him, because they can't decide how they're going to portray him, it seems.
Yeah.
Like,
Because I think the last couple of years, they've kind of decided where they're sort of going with him. But in between that, I was like, we needed someone in the Bat family, Bat comics to do something crazy. Let's give it to Jason. And then,
yeah.
Does something stupid, and then...
And then,
next storyline, forget that ever happened. Yeah.
Batman forgives him. He's like, and then Batman does something to be out of order to him all the time, and it's just like, well, no, look, if Batman was doing that stuff to me, yeah, no wonder why these people were
years ago,
yeah. It's just like, what? Why do you think it's dead? Why do people say must up?
Yeah. I just need him dead. But yeah. So there's one more version of Jason in the Gotham Knight game.
Gotham Knight. Oh yeah, go on. You tell me about that. I haven't played it.
In that, he's big, broody, angry guy, but it kind of explains why he's that way. And there's little moments where you start seeing him opening up and becomes more of the family. Because there's little like backlogs to it, like you find this picture of the Bat family having a meal, but he's not there, and then there's a little story behind it saying, "Oh, they invited him, but because of something happened, he didn't feel comfortable going until Bruce actually reached out to him and all this stuff." Yeah, it's pretty nice. Pretty nice.
Did he die there or?
Yeah, he died there. Yeah,
he died there in that continuity, and he came back.
Yeah, because he's got powers. He got slight powers from the Lazarus Pit.
Well, slight powers, just being stronger and stuff like that, or
yeah, and he could do this weird boost jump.
Okay.
Yeah, that's about it, really.
Well, does everyone get some like special power in?
They'll have a little ability because like.
Okay, so tell me what each character's special ability is.
Oh, so it's not more. It's like more of a travel ability, and
okay, go on.
So Jason, yeah, he's got this super jump where he jumps and then like he can sort of airwalk. So when he goes to do double jump, he'll like land on this like magical rune thing, and then jump off of that. And then one of his specials is that he charges up his guns and they shoot off some magic spiritual thingy-majig.
Wait. So then tell me. When he shoots people dead, they're not dead. They're just stunned.
He's got rubber bullets in this game.
Oh, okay.
And then Nightwing has this glider thing.
Yeah.
So he can jump from building to building.
Yeah.
Batgirl has the gliding ability from Gotham, from the Arkham games.
Okay.
And Tim Drake uses a decommissioned teleporter from one of the watchtowers that he uses to jump from, like, teleport from one place to another. Yeah.
All right, but he's got a cape, so why can't he glide?
Oh, his cape is not as big as the other. I don't know.
Well, my logic, by the way, would be Jason get a teleporter because he's the only one that doesn't have a cape.
Yeah.
I want to say
Nightwing doesn't have a cape.
No, but he's got the in the anime series, he's got the glider capabilities, and I think in one of in a part of his costume, he does have that. But I guess that depends on the costume he has.
Yeah. If it's that weird costume he had in the early 90s,
Yeah.
That costume was awesome. But yeah, so that's... And then Nightwing's got his Screamer Sticks. That's of his ability. Batgirl has Nightsticks, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
And Robin has a staff. A bow staff, yeah. That can shoot stuff out of it as well. Yeah, so that's basically it.
Right. Okay.
So yeah, that's Jason.
Yep. Our boy, the Red Hood, right? Our boy, yeah, he is our boy. Okay.
Yeah, she is one of my boys. Yeah. I actually do like it. Yeah.
Yeah, with his grey quiff sort of, which doesn't come back depending on who.
Who's drawing it.
Yeah, it's like when you go into the Lazarus Pit, you get a grey streak in your hair. Yeah. Apparently, right? Because sometimes he does have it, and sometimes he doesn't have it, and then sometimes he has ginger hair, and sometimes he doesn't. And like, okay,
yeah. I mean, because in Gotham Knight, he had ginger hair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What did he dye it? Did he dye it? No, he wears a helmet over that anyway, so you can't tell.
See, yeah. But
right. Yeah. Yeah. So that's
yes.
I guess that's that for our for Jason Todd.
Jason Tizzle. Yeah.
Has he been around longer than he's been dead?
I don't know. Wait, so he died in 84. Right?
No, he died in 87.
88, sorry.
87.
88 or 87. One or two.
88.
Yeah.
Was it 88? Okay.
I think so. And then he came back in 2005/6. Yeah. And so 2016 would make 10 years. So yeah, he's been around longer than he's been dead at this point. Yeah.
But good on DC that they brought him back.
Yeah.
How well they used him, to his full potential here and there, but
different story. Yeah.
But at least there's something, right?
Yeah. At least they're doing something. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Now, whatever they decide on how violent. I just find it's hilarious how every time they go flashback to Jason Todd when he was Robin, all of a sudden he's out of control, impulsive. He's a maniac. He can't be controlled. Yeah, all that stuff.
It's like, okay, sure.
And then when you actually read the issues, it's like, well, it's not that bad.
No, that's the thing. Like it's over exaggerated.
Yeah.
But hey, it sells comics, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, like I was saying, Batman, Bruce Wayne, he somehow creates. When there's no need to create tension, why not I just create it?
Yeah, basically, yeah.
I love the drama.
Yeah. Keep them on their toes. So yeah, Jason, great guy.
Yeah.
Love him. So that's been us discussing the lengthy career of one of DC's how can I put it? Unfocused characters.
Yeah.
Who has a large fan base. Jason Todd, aka Robin number 2, aka Red Hood, and Red Robin at one point as well. Yeah, I forgot to mention that. Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe Red X, depending on the continuity as well.
Yeah, Red on the continuity.
Yeah.
And if you are a fan of Jason Todd or haven't, I hope this has informed you to his greatness and sometimes lack of. But what is your favorite moments of the Red Hood? Is it his live action portrayal in Titans, or even his brief stint in Young Justice, where he's made the cameos in there? And if there's another season, we may see him. Who knows? But you can let us know by leaving a comment in the comment section if you're watching on YouTube, or you can leave us a message or a tweet or whatever on Instagram and Twitter, and you can find all our social media handles in the description part of this podcast. And I have been the guy who is so violent. I shoot people for no reason and then complain about it later because daddy issues. Carl Charles. And
and I'm the man who gets murdered by the Joker in multiple continuities.
Yes,
C.Y. Chung.
That's true. There's another way he's died, has there? Actually, the only other continuity where he just dies normally, I think, is the Flashpoint continuity. He just died.
Well, did he ever exist?
Yeah.
In that one?
Yeah.
What happened there?
Alright, let me just, because I've been on Wikipedia 1 second. So, according to Wikipedia, and then I'll finish this off, he... Wait, what did I see? So, in alternate version, Jason Todd appears in the timeline of Flashpoint story where, among other changes, Bruce Wayne was killed as a child and never became Batman. Yeah. Here, Jason is portrayed as a former drug addict and follower of Brother Blood, who eventually turns his life around to become a priest. Still dies.
Okay.
But it was eventually resurrected and recovers from physically and mentally. Wait, what? Okay, he just becomes a guy.
Just a dude.
Yeah. In the Flashpoint universe. Because didn't they recently do Flashpoint? Like, continuation. But anyways, so yeah, thank you for listening to us speak about Jason Todd. And I'd like to thank you guys for taking a trip with us around the multiverse. Bye.
Bye.
Blue.